Okay, Jay, what's your question for today?
Well, actually, Susan, I'd like to pick this up from our last conversation on breakups. So my question is this. Why does it take so much time to heal after a breakup? I understand for some people it can take years. Why is that?
Well, because the relationship didn't just happen overnight, it took time to grow, hit its peak, and collapse. We also have to look at how emotionally invested this individual was while in the relationship.
Okay, I get that. Now, would you say that collateral damage might contribute to the time factor?
Oh, yes. This is the unexpected part that includes all the unseen emotional harm that results from conflict, breakup, or divorce.
Yeah, I can see where that would happen, especially if there are children involved, how that could really stretch out.
Couples who are directly involved in the breakup are not the only ones to feel the aftershocks, especially if there are children involved, in-laws, and others in their immediate and extended family and friend circles who can also be affected. All of these people and factors mentioned will impact not only the healing process, but the time required to recover.
Okay, so that's the time factor. Now, your second concern or tip had to do with the word care. So when you talked about care, how do you care for yourself when you're brokenhearted? There are some people that when they're brokenhearted, they just don't care anymore, but you're advising that they do practice care, and how would they do that?
Anyone who has ever had their heart broken knows it's not that easy to just snap out of it. I would encourage anyone who is brokenhearted to set aside time to do something that feels positive to the soul. The soul is where the healing starts because the breakup pain and heartache are on the inside of a person, not the outside. Maybe this recovery time could be used to complete that best-selling book they were working on, or to meet up with a trusted friend, and watch movies that force laughter. After all, there's a lot of truth in the saying, laughter is the best medicine.
You also mentioned gentleness as another point. So what do you mean by being gentle with yourself as part of the healing process?
First, I want to establish that being gentle with yourself does not mean being lazy and lying around in misery. Just like pushing yourself does not mean that you're going to be productive. What it does mean is, well, here, let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say the brokenhearted person is aware of all the things in the house that still belong to the ex. Okay, now being hard on yourself would mean being vindictive, burning everything that belongs to your ex, spreading vicious lies, and attacking your ex from every angle. This kind of behavior is being hard on yourself. Being gentle with yourself would mean that while you still want to remove these reminders of your ex, it's not a vindictive move, but rather it's an act of love for yourself. Why? Because you now view your ex as someone who no longer serves your best life. Neither do their belongings. So the idea would be to gently get rid of them by arranging a different pickup location or donating them to charity. End of story. Do you see how simple that is?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, in other words, you're taking a gentle approach to responding to something that you would normally feel vindictive over, and that would be being hard on yourself. Okay, that makes sense to me. So, then you mentioned having a deep self-understanding. How does that fit into the healing process?
A deeper understanding of self after a breakup takes place when the one who is left behind can review the breakup and what they might have done to contribute to the breakup. Understanding what went wrong can be harder to understand than why you fell in love with this person in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, if you have no idea what went wrong in your last relationship, that could be a sign that you may have been the cause. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong, like cheating, lying, or stealing, but this is a good opportunity to reflect on the relationship to see where someone was either a mismatch or just not supportive of their partner.
So the review of those points again were, time, we talked about care, gentleness, and a deeper self-understanding. And I think your breakdown of those 4 points were very, very helpful. So, well, thank you for that. I really appreciate another podcast with you, Susan. You're very insightful and a delight to talk to.
Thank you, Jay.
Talk soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.